Left, we need the center aisle open. And if you're standing near the center, please remember there are people seated behind you. If you turn backwards and you... can I ask for Pastor Reed Ellis to come forward, please? We need Officer Babalta up to the front tent too, please. Officer Babalta. Vince Babalta.
Degrees, 2 minutes north, 134 degrees, 48 minutes east, the USS Indianapolis, CA-35, commissioned 15 November 1932, rests with her crew and officers, making the greatest disaster in United States naval history.
Observation Office, who have been here for the excavation of the two bomb pits, supervising it according to their requirements under the law, and being very helpful along the way. And we'd also like to thank the people from the Council on the Humanities, Chamorros and Carolinians, who died as collateral damage, as it were, during the battle for Saipan and Tinian. These men and women died terrible lives, many of them, including among them are my wife's grandparents and many others. And so I think that it would be appropriate, if you don't mind, if we had just a moment of silence for those who died. Thank you all very much. First formed back in the United States at Wendover Air Force Base. Their travels to different places for practice bombing, getting the team together, hiring the best of the best that America had. And he was placed in charge of this overall command. It came rather late in the war, really, the designation and the development of his unit. At the time the war began, the dream of the atomic bomb was exactly that. It was a dream. It was some numbers and some formulas written by Enrico Fermi and Oppenheimer and the crews that worked at the University of Chicago and at various institutions around the United States. There was little faith among many sectors that such a bomb could ever be developed, much less that it would be so powerful that it would shock Japan into a sudden surrender. But that was the dream that was set forth by President Roosevelt, General Leslie Groves, the commander of the Manhattan Project, and that responsibility was passed on to then Colonel Paul W. Tibbets Jr. He was chosen for his ability as a leader, not just as a pilot. And he was given a very difficult command in that he was told that if everything was successful, if everybody could work together as one unit, that we could end this war by shocking Japan into a sudden surrender and preventing the United States from having to land its armed forces, the veterans of the European theater, on the shores of Japan, along with the veteran Marines that were here. But it was to be a hand-to-hand combat. It was estimated to take as much as 3 years. We were expected to meet fanatical resistance at the beaches, and that millions of men and women, Japanese and American, a tremendous number of civilian losses in Japan, if this bomb could be dropped, and dropped quickly. Through the leadership of General Paul Tibbets, and then his expert ability at flying and working with his crew and the men of his crew, the best of the best that America had to offer, it succeeded. And he saved literally millions of lives. So, With no further ado, it is my great pleasure and honor to introduce to all of you General Paul W. Tibbets, Jr.
Thank you, Mr. Farrell. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I am truly honored, and I am delighted to be here in this assembly as of today. I want to recognize the fact that there's some other officers and appointed officials that have been named 2 or 3 times, and I've forgotten some of them. But anyway, I want them to be recognized also for the things that they did in the past. The atomic weapons. As Mr. Farrell said, I was elected, or I was appointed, I was told. Back in those days, they used to tell you what to do. I was told, you will organize and train a unit that will drop these weapons simultaneously in occupied territories of Europe and Japan. You will be self-supporting. You will operate in the best secrecy that can be provided by yourself, your people, and for you.